A lot of people come in Canada and they don't do visitor insurance. Medical services outside of Canada are pretty stiff. For example, the broken arm in the state will cost you $32,000 US. The day in the hospital without any treatment, just in the room, it's 6,000. Many people think, oh, I have an OHIP, OHIP will pay. OHIP pays $200 only. A person, a lady, called me and said, oh, my daughter, something very heavy fell on her arm and we don't have an insurance. Could we do it right now so the insurance company will pay for the treatment? I said no, because first, since you are here, it's 48 hours waiting period. Secondly, the trauma happened before you did the insurance. And you know what she asked me? If we do the insurance now and go to the hospital in 2 days, will they pay?
Michael, welcome to DiceE Podcast. I was looking forward to creating a podcast with you and talking about your profession, what you currently do, because with my experience, I didn't expect that brokers are actually was in interest of people. They actually in interest of themselves and maybe the people who they looking for, like maybe different clients and stuff. But you showed me different, and I've been working with you for over 5 years, probably about 5 years, and I realized it's not true. they actually try to help you develop and create better relationship with insurance companies and finding a best deal for the client himself. So and that's what I want to talk to you today about. But as well, I know that you running a lot of good and quality information on your mailing list, which I tell people sometimes on the parties and stuff. So I really enjoy, and you calling yourself master scientist and stuff, and I really enjoy this way and stuff. So let's start things first. Roll the dice.
Okay. First of all, Victor, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be in your podcast. It's actually the first podcast I'm doing in English.
Yeah.
Because it's my third language, not my mother tongue.
Oh, what's the second?
Hebrew.
Hebrew. Ah, okay. Never knew about it, but it's okay.
I'm by citizenship. I'm Israeli Canadian. I don't have any other.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. 16.
16. Awesome. In what kind of weather you are most productive?
Weather, sunny. Any warm, sunny day, it's my favorite. It's my I don't know. That's what I'm comfortable because you know how to say it. When it's freezing outside, I am freezing inside.
Yeah.
So and the gloomy day is definitely not for me. I'm working. I have no choice. But the sunny, warm day, that's what my favorite.
That's interesting. Yeah, counting right now that we had snowstorm past in Toronto. That's definitely.
Not that I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, not really productive during that time, right?
Again, I have no choice, but again, it's not just, let's say, the production. The quality is the same. Yeah. The mood, I don't know, desire to work. When it's sunny outside, I'm much more happier.
Oh, gotcha. And so you said you are Israeli and Canadian. Tell me, how was your childhood? Where did you grow up, and what?
Well, I was born in the Soviet Union in Moscow, and I left. It was the Soviet Union back then. It's fall apart after my leaving. Maybe because of that, I don't know. So I don't have any citizenship from Russia, Ukraine, or Armenia, whatever. Well, I was born in Moscow, but since my parents are petroleum geologists, I was, I think, 2 months old. They took me to the far north, where they actually lived and worked. They also graduated from the Moscow University, Petroleum University, not the main one, Petroleum University. But they worked over there, far north. So the first 4 years of my life, I lived in the kind of settlements where geologists lived. And then we returned to Moscow, and I went to school there, the university, the same Petroleum University, and then worked, and then came back to this university to do PhD. So I am really a doctor of science. And I just got my diploma of PhD and immediately left the Soviet Union for good.
Guys, you probably didn't know about it, but I have my own coaching website. You're welcome to follow it in the link down below and see a lot of really important information about my coaching, about my courses. Don't forget to subscribe to my mailing list, where I will be talking more about my future upcoming products and my future upcoming podcast. Keep tuned and let's get back to the show.
Understand. And when you was growing up there, what hobbies you had? What you was interested in?
By hobby, I am a collector. I collect information.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it. Back then we didn't have computers, so it all was in envelopes. Everything: nature, animals, stars, soccer, football, music, different countries, whatever. Slowly it went away, and now my really hobby is still geography. I know probably any country in the world with the population, and cities, and so on. I love music, both classical and modern, and theoretical soccer. I read about games, but I don't play anymore.
Oh, so you're basically interested in statistics of soccer?
Statistics is my thing, but not accounting. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But the countries, it's probably my love from childhood, when we couldn't travel, and when we got out, we traveled all over Europe, every country in Europe, and when I deal with my geography, it's kind of traveling again.
Oh, gotcha. What's the best country you think?
To live?
Well, to travel, to visit.
I love several: Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Israel. Israel, it's an amazing country. Everyone has to be there because it's a small country, but it has everything, from the mountain, snowy mountain, to the deepest valley, to oceans, different deserts, and history. The history, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So you like mostly like outside, right?
I love mountains and ocean tides. That what relaxes me.
Gotcha. So basically nature outside, outdoors.
Nature outside.
Yeah,
I love roaming the cities too. We usually come to some city and walking miles and miles. Last year we've been in Copenhagen. We went 21 kilometers in one day. We checked everything.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But until we're able to walk, we're walking. Or we could take a car and go around the country.
Yeah. What's the most remarkable or memorable memory you had from your childhood?
Hard to say. My childhood wasn't somewhat eventual. Well, actually, probably two most events. It's my marriage. I'm married 44 years, and my kid was born, and maybe the third one when we got out because it was still 80s,
Yeah.
and well, it was
A lot.
pretty difficult, let's say.
That would be interesting. Let's roll the dice.
17.
17. Okay. What was your first job?
First job, by the first profession is petroleum geologist, but I wasn't in the field. I was in the scientific research institute, and we worked with the field geologist. We actually did the research for them and evaluated the information that we got from them. We did created plans how to develop the oil fields and what to do, economics and so on. That's where I started to move to petroleum economics, not the geology itself. And in Israel, I worked mostly in economics, and it helped me here already because I moved to finance. It's close.
Yeah. Have you had fun while doing it?
It's actually very interesting because geology, it's a history of Earth's development. You drill this well and you see the special methods to study it, and you see, oh, there was the ice period, there was a desert in here, there was an ocean in here, and now it's, I don't know, some dry land. And you see something approximately 500 million years.
So it's like magnificence of how Earth developed.
Sometimes you feel yourself so small. I'm here, live some 70, 80 years with the Earth. I'm not talking about 4 billion years.
Yeah.
But even what the geology could study, 500 million, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. Sounds really impressive. So moving on to another thing. So you said you moved out in the 80s. How old you was during the time?
In 80s?
Yeah. When you started moving out from USSR?
I was 30.
30, okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And what the process was like? What was the story and what was the reason why you actually moved out from there?
There were two actually main reasons. So for my child, I didn't want to experience the life experience I experienced there, because well, we're Jews, and it's definitely not a favorite let's say favorite people in Russia, in the Soviet Union, and my dad suffered from that. I got my share, and I didn't want my kid go over there. The second was it was just it became dangerous. You know, I'm grateful to Gorbachev for perestroika because it actually allowed us to leave. Otherwise, we would be stuck there forever. But it brought chaos, and the criminal activity rose significantly. Despite we lived in the middle of Moscow, 10 minutes walk from the Kremlin, I never let my kid go out alone. Never. I brought to the school, then to home. We went walking on the street only with me present with her. And again, it's not what you want for your child.
Yeah, especially growing up in there, right?
Yeah.
How the process was back then to moving out?
Secret. No one knew. No one knew. Even my parents and my wife's parents didn't know it until when we were deep in that. And my colleagues and friends didn't know it until I told them, guys, in 2 weeks I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Because, immigrants were considered maybe not traitors, but unreliable. You are not with us. We're sitting here and you go to the green pastures outside, because actually no one knew exactly what is outside.
Mm-hmm.
And the first years in Israel were very hard, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But we got through that, and with all those KGB that they demanded a lot. We paid that they will took our citizenship. We paid for that. We paid for that, this, and so on.
So bureaucracy, basically.
Or bureaucracy on a high level.
Yeah. So you moved away from USSR at the time, and you went straight to Canada, or
To Israel.
To Israel.
To
Okay.
Israel.
Okay. And after Israel, you went to Canada, or
Yeah.
okay.
We lived 11 years in Israel.
Okay.
We went through 2 wars and this Arab uprising when they blew buses and restaurants and schools. And that was the main reason why we left Israel.
Mm.
Just got tired because the kid grew up. She wanted to go to the discotheques and we were just afraid because they blew discotheques as well with teenagers. Yeah. And we decided no. And our close friend decided we're leaving, and we decided, okay, we're going with you. Mm. I still consider Israel my motherland. Mm-hmm. And I love it dearly, and all my family too, but it was just hard to live there.
Yeah, I understand. Didn't know the story about you at all. About that kind of experience you had. That's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. And I've been there many times. Yeah. I love it. It's kind of recharging. Yeah. And my relatives are there, and as I said, we love this country very much. Mm-hmm. But we maybe return there later on, but I doubt.
Understood. That's really interesting experience. So you moved 80s, lived 11 years, so it's mostly beginning of 90s, right? And you moved to Canada.
2001.
2001, you was in Canada already. Okay. How was the experience when you moved to Canada from Israel?
We started from scratch again because we didn't have relatives, we didn't have any friends, we didn't know anything. We knew English, that's it. And my PhD diploma didn't interest anyone in here. I sent resume, of course, no one answered. My wife as well didn't get any reply to her resume. So she went to work in bakery. She's a very good cook. It's not her profession. She's a petroleum geologist too. But she went. We need money. We didn't brought almost anything, not from Russia. We didn't have anything to sell. No apartments, no savings, nothing. And the same with Israel. And we came in here. We need job and money. So when one of the insurance company called me and said, "Oh, you're a PhD, you're a specialist in databases, you know, in economical background," because I did PhD, like say postdoctorate in Tel Aviv University, so I had kind of 2 degrees. and say, "Oh, we need you."
Mhm.
And I went there happily to work with them, but I didn't like it, really didn't like it. The approach to the clients, to the business,
Mhm.
and I left. And I started to work as self-employed.
Mhm.
And since then, 24 years.
Oh, I see. Let's roll a dice.
Want more Google reviews faster? With Apex NFC, your customer can share their experience with just a tap. More reviews mean more visibility, trust, and growth for your business. Stand out from the competition with Apex NFC. Use the code VictorTimewolf for 15% off your first order at apexnfc.com. Start growing your reviews today.
16 again.
16 again. Okay, I will ask you a special question.
Okay.
What's the best book you read recently?
It's a good books, mostly. And I even keep them. We have shelves in 2, 3 rows of books. Have no place for that even. But it's mostly the books. I love the books, about lawyers, investigations, even criminal investigations. I don't like piff puff and killings, but the killing is just the reason for investigation. That's what I'm reading about. So I love Michael Connelly, John Grisham, Steve Maldini, those books, Michael Crichton. But I read the historical books too, very interesting. Let's say about half a year ago, I read the book, I don't remember the author, about the development and interconnection of civilizations. Wow, it's pretty dry book, no adventures. It's a history facts, but it's so interesting.
That would be. I know a couple people will be really interested in a lot of books you have if you have a reading list, what you enjoy reading, and stuff. So, the investigation book. So it's basically you give us an author. Do you have at least one book that you remember the name of that you could recommend for our viewers?
Well, first of all, I will recommend almost any book of John Grisham, from the Time to Kill and the Firm until the latest. What's the latest I read? I didn't read them in order because what I see, I get it and read it. But let's say, except those he's writing about baseball that I don't understand at all. Some life in the rural areas, it just kind of boring life. But everything where you get the Brassens, the brokers, the runaway jury, all those, it's very interesting. I love this twisted and attention to details. That's what attracts me.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So you will start your beginning in a broker insurance company and stuff. So what exactly? They just give you a call and say like, do you want to do this? Like, running insurance?
First 3 or 4 years, I did a lot of cold calls because no one knew me. And probably the first, I don't know, 100, 150 clients from cold calls. They're still with me for 20 something years.
Impressive.
Yeah. I proudly can say that a very small amount of my clients left me, and not because they find something better than me. It's maybe few of them. Just life changes. They don't need insurance anymore. They cannot afford it, and so on. But a lot of people stuck with me for 2 decades and more.
Mm.
Because, it maybe sounds pompous, but I really stick to ethics, work ethics. And people know it and people feel it, and they know that I will never do anything illegal or cut the corners. They feel safe with me.
Mm.
And I do a lot to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's my reputation, first of all. And in my business, the reputation is everything. So you have to behave right.
Yeah.
To be successful.
That makes sense.
And the last, I don't know, maybe 15 years, it's mostly referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes my advertising, but I almost don't advertise. Something in the Facebook, and just maybe 3 or 5 years. I didn't do any social media before that. And sometimes, what else I do? In newspapers, I stopped advertising.
Email marketing as well.
Email, I cannot send emails to non-clients because it's privacy. It's forbidden. It's not harassment, but it's called how to say officially, unconsented solicitation, something like that.
Mm.
So, but I send a lot of information once a month, the whole newsletter to my clients, so they remember about me, that I exist. And sometimes they brought their friends, relatives, newcomers. So.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's a curious question I have, actually. Are you willing to tell us what was the pitch when he was doing cold calls?
What was?
When he was doing cold calls.
Why?
Well, what was the pitch when he was doing? I'm just curious.
Well,
what was the best sale point of calling clients? And
there is no the best sales point, because whatever marketologists say, oh, you have to find, how to say, the button in some sensitive point. When you call and you say, hi, I'm selling, and you are not saying selling, I offer insurance if you are interested. 99% of response will be yes if the person already thought about it.
Mm.
If he thinks, okay, I need it somehow, but I don't know what is it, I don't have time to search. Here, the guy called me, I'll ask him. And I provide information. And I knew a lot from the beginning. I studied it very thoroughly. And people see, okay, the guy knows what he's talking about.
Mm.
Let's go. So I didn't say, oh, think about your kids, so your family, if you pass away. People don't like think about passing away.
Yeah.
So they understand that insurance it's the field of fear and loss, and I don't know, some family catastrophe. But many, the majority, understand that, well, it's not a pleasant topic, but we need it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mankind didn't want anything better than the insurance to protect. If you won a lottery, okay, you don't need insurance. But if you're a regular guy, it's better to have.
Sometimes I think insurance is really amazing business model, just because you take money before you provide any services. Just to think about it.
Well, let's say you provide the services from the day one, when you took money. Because if a client God forbid, dies the next day, his family gets all the money. He maybe paid $100 for the first month for the insurance of $500,000. It's a pretty good investment.
But it's rare, right?
It's very rare, yeah. But I have had clients who died in 3-5 years, and unfortunately, most of them were young. I lost some so eight clients in this 25 years, and from those 8, 6 were young. Young, it's from age 7 to 52. So it's pretty sad event, because they say you have to be detached. You don't get it inside, otherwise you burn.
Yeah.
I think you cannot get detached, otherwise it's hard to explain. But if you are not with your clients in the time he needs help, you're worthless. You're just some guy who signed papers. It's not an insurance agent. Insurance agent, the guy who comes to help in the difficult times and takes the job on himself and myself to help with the papers and so on, because the family, they lost someone they love, and maybe husband or child or something. They don't really in a position, not able to deal with this bureaucracy. It's my job. It's not my job actually by description, but I do it because I know where to go, whom to call, how to do it. So I take it.
That's really, really interesting.
But fortunately, most of my work is change the bank account, change the beneficiary. I missed my payments, what to do, sort service.
Yeah.
It's, let's say.
I think that's part what you're talking about is the unspoken part what people not aware of by having insurance. I want to say broker. You said
well,
insurance.
officially I'm agent.
Agents, yeah.
Yeah, but agent. Let's say by the law, by definition, we're agents. I consider myself brokers because I work with many companies, and agent usually belongs to one company. But efficiently, it's the same actually.
Yeah.
For the client, it's the same.
Well, I mean, for people who's working, it's different, right? So.
Yeah, my advantage is only that I can check several companies, find something better than if I am offering just one option.
Yeah, that's interesting. Roll the dice.
I hope to roll what with 16 again.
Well, we'll see.
12.
What is your favorite vehicle?
Toyota Camry. All 25 years I am driving Toyota, and it's my, I think, 6th Camry. I tried one, the previous one was Audi. I decided maybe I'll try something different. Well, it's a good car, but we didn't click. Didn't click. So I am happily returned to Camry. So that's what.
How long have you been driving it again? Camry.
This one 2 years in March, and before that, the first one was Corolla, year and a half, and then Camry.
Yeah, I had some people when I was shopping for the car, they recommended to buy Corolla because it never dies. Well, it rarely dies, but it's
exactly Toyota. in those 25 years, 24 years, except 3 years on Audi, so 21 years of driving, I had one, not accident, the battery was leaking. That's it.
You're getting called and somebody did something really stupid. That's an idea. And they're calling you to insurance to get the, like benefits and stuff. That's my view of it, because you never know, right? Because, person doesn't follow safety and after decided to hit his finger or whatever and basically try to call for all this.
The key word, you are right, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I never tell people that you acted stupid because it makes them guilty and people don't accept it.
Yeah.
But a lot of things that people called me and say, Mike, I got diagnosed. Could we do insurance? I said,
a bit too late.
Oh, let's do it a year ago. I will pay. No way. First, it's really, if it was even possible, it's a deception and I don't do such thing. Secondly, it's just not technically not feasible because all in computer. The company sees immediately when the application is done. So no, and then no. And sometimes you just amazed on people how they try to save money on medical treatment. A lot of people come to Canada and they don't do visitor insurance. Oh, this will never happen to me, I'm invincible and so on. And it was maybe months ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, a lady called me and said, oh, my daughter, she's age 10 or something, 12. Something very heavy fell on her arm. And really had something, 10 kilos. And we don't have an insurance. Could we do it right now so the insurance company will pay for the treatment? I said no, because first, since you are here, it's 48 hours waiting period. Secondly, the trauma happened before you did the insurance. And you know what she asked me? If we do the insurance now and go to the hospital in 2 days, will they pay? I say, first, not. They won't, because again, the trauma was before that. And second, your kid shatters the bones in her arm. You have to rush to the hospital and you're waiting 2 days? Mom, I can, even the fathers, they tough, they maybe not so sensitive, but she's a mother. Gosh.
So people don't have them in
people do such things that you never stop be amazing what they just think they doing. Don't know.
You probably have way more stories about that.
Yeah. But those stories mostly that, okay, Mike, I got into trouble. What should I do? And even if they're not my clients, I try to help because, okay, person needs help. So if I can advise something, do something, I do. It's not for money, they don't pay me, and I don't get money from the insurance company, but, well, maybe something up there, someone is written it in the book of life, and I get the reward later on. But I like helping. I like helping, and people call me not because of insurance only. Somebody needs just an advice in life. I'm not a life coach, no, but well, I'm 64. I have a lot of experience in my life, and I know stories of different people. Maybe I can help something. Oh, just listen. Sometimes people simply want to unload all this.
Yeah, ventilate basically.
Yeah. One of my clients told me, Mike, if you want to be an insurance agent, you should have been a priest. You know how to listen. And yeah,
Sorry, Father, for what I sinned. Like,
yeah, I don't give forgiveness. I just listen. I don't judge. I even don't say, "Oh, you're a poor guy." That's the wrong thing to say. You got into trouble. You want to tell me about it? Tell me. You want to something from me to help you? I can say, let's see to the reason why you're in trouble. Can you fix it? Let's do it. You do it. Because actually the reason it's you.
yeah,
It's not something from outside.
yeah, I understand.
But people don't take responsibility usually.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of insurance, could you explain 3 reasons why it's really important to have like traveling insurance, for example, the ones that I mostly use with you? Because I thought about it, like why do I need the travel insurance and stuff, and I think after I talked to you, you give me an explanation that it's better to have my own policy instead of company policy, because as soon as they technically fire me or discharge me, right, that's insured, I'm no longer insured.
Exactly.
And I never want that to happen, right? Like, do you have any other examples of why it's important to have your own travel insurance policy?
First of all, the need in travel insurance, specifically in travel insurance, is because the medical services outside of Canada are pretty stiff. We don't know it in Canada because almost everything, maybe except the dentist, everything is paid from our taxes. But for example, the broken arm in the state could cost you $32,000 US. The day in the hospital without any treatment, just in the room, it's 6,000. It's city by city, but it's approximately. And many people think, oh, I have an OHIP, OHIP will pay. OHIP pays $200 only of medical treatment abroad. And I stress again, our OHIP doesn't pay for the treatment in foreign countries. Second, the insurance pay even much more than OHIP in Canada. For example, full payment for the ambulance, including air ambulance, emergency medical treatment, and return to Canada on the account of the insurance company if needed, and so on. So the cost. Second, well, actually, it's since it's tax deductible expenses, you tax deducted as a personal medical expenses, so it's free for you. You didn't use it, thanks God. You don't need it. Deduct it from your taxes and give it to your
So
accountant.
insurance, every time I pay for insurance, I could deduct it from my taxes, basically.
You deduct it from
And
your
even the
taxes.
car insurance, right?
No, travel insurance.
Travel insurance.
Travel and visitor.
Okay.
Not life, not car, just travel and visitor insurance.
Oh.
So you can do it.
That's
And you know, travel insurance is very cheap.
Yeah.
Considering how much you pay for your all-inclusive, I know, Cuba, Dubai, or whatever, okay, it depends on the age, of course, the country and the length of the trip, but it could be $30, it could be, okay, $300, but again, your trip costs 5,000 or maybe 10,000.
Yeah. But you're talking an annual price, right, if I'm not mistaken?
No,
Or-
it's per trip.
Per trip, okay.
There is a option to buy annual multi-trip coverage. So it's a calendar year, and any number of trips, each one of up to certain number of days, 4, 8, 15, and 30, something. Let's say a lot of truck drivers buy 15 days because that's what they going back and forth, and they have the insurance in hand the whole year, and it costs between 150 to 200 a year, including all taxes, and it's tax deductible from the business or as personal, and they always cover it. And many of my clients who is frequent travelers, they have annual insurance. They don't call me every time. They just pick up and go. So that a lot of reasons to, and people who say, "Oh, I have it at work or through my credit card." My first question to those people always: did you read your policy? Because I did read my policy, from the credit card. I don't have from work, from the credit card, and my credit card provides travel insurance. I read the booklet, something 30 pages of small font with some blue color, and I decided, no, I will never use it because so many exclusions, so many unknown words for me. I'm a specialist. And ordinary people, they cannot understand. They see the word premium, they think, premium? I have to pay the premium to the insurance company above the price because it's so good. Why? But no, premium is not something extra. It's a payment for your insurance. That's called premium insurance. People don't know it. That people get confused. A lot of special professional terms that people don't know. I don't know terms in programming or in tracking or is it in agents. It's not my job, so I don't know them. I go to the specialist. People don't know terminology in insurance. It's understandable. And they answer the question wrong. They miss some boxes or check the wrong boxes. And then the company say, we decline your claim because it's misrepresentation in your insurance. You lied. Or you didn't check this coverage and you didn't pay it. We don't cover you. And so on, a lot of things. They call me, Mike, what should I do? That's it. Learn from your mistakes.
I was actually curious about credit card insurance. What does it cover? What doesn't it cover? Like,
it's covered actually. They covered a lot. Their insurance pretty much the same as insurance company, because they're not covered themselves. They work with some insurance company, but they have their own restrictions. Age, for example, some cards stop covering you at age 50 or 60 or 65, and people don't know it. Oh, I'm retired, I'm going traveling. You're 65 or 62, your card doesn't cover you anymore. The length of the trip, people don't look at, oh, I go for a week, but your card is covering for 4 days.
yeah.
And the restriction of the family members. For example, spouse, yes, kids, no. It's not every credit card you have to read your policy, but people don't read. There are restrictions, there are exclusions. You have to know it because it's actually your safety. It could cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I do insurance for myself and my wife every time we're traveling. So we have insurance through the credit card company. But when I do it through the insurance company myself, I know exactly what the coverage is.
And that's the reason why good to have you on the dial and say, "Hey, Michael, I'm heading somewhere. Can you cover me up?" And you're like,
yeah.
quickly.
And people call me the weekends, vacation. I always on the phone,
Yeah.
and sometimes it was not once. Mike, I'm bored. I forgot the insurance. Okay, I can't do insurance before you cross the border, so I have some half an hour. Go to the computer, do it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got some 11 p.m. email. Mike, sorry for the last minute. I'm going tomorrow to Quebec. Okay.
But Quebec is a part of Canada, though.
Yeah,
no?
but it's out of Ontario. OHIP covers us in Ontario only.
That's interesting.
OHIP covers us across Canada within the cost brackets of Ontario. So, for example, if some surgery in Ontario costs $10,000, and in Quebec at 12, you're on the hook of 2,000. And again, there is no ambulance, no air ambulance, and he's going to Tremblant. You need air ambulance to Montreal.
I'm going in Montreal soon. We need to talk about it.
Exactly. And in Canada, he and his son, they went for 4 days to Quebec. It cost $15 for both, tax included, for 4 days.
Yeah.
You're not talking about savings $15 when especially you deduct it later.
Yeah.
It's cheap. Canadian insurance is cheap.
Not counting the salary data, how much it costs, but but it's a different topic. Sounds great. Roll the dice.
11.
What is your favorite fruit?
Cheese and chocolate.
But it's not a fruit.
Well, I can survive on that. But I like many things because my wife cooks very, very good. Yeah. That's why I preferred home food. She doesn't cook every day. We're not those people who demands fresh food every day for 2-3 days. It's fine. And well, it's pretty simple. We eat everything, but meat not much because of the cost, because it's not so healthy. But chicken, fish. I do salads every day. Green salads. That's my.
I was
profile.
Asking about fruit.
Fruit.
Fruit. Yeah.
Not food.
It's my accent. Sorry about it.
Fruits. Apricots.
Apricots. Oh, why apricots?
Don't know. I love apricots. I love a lot of fruits and apples, apricots, and nectarina, and so on. I love berries, but I don't know. Apricots, it's my favorite.
You enjoy it more? That sounds good. Yeah. Well, insurance, and you've been working already for 24 years, right? Right. 20, well, coming up maybe 25 already. Yeah. So somewhere behind. So well, how you see yourself in the future as a insurance claim agent, or what system you may be having to set up, because at some point you might not want to deal with anyone anymore with insurance and stuff, right?
I probably will work maybe 10 years. I don't know. You see, my job is talking and let's say white collar. So I can work until 70, 75. I know agents working in the 80s. Until I can work and until I can take people's problem and not get freaked out of that, I probably will work. And don't know. The main reason I can stop working, it's not that I cannot do it physically or emotionally, but probably because of the online insurance, because a lot of youngsters do everything online because they don't know how to communicate with people personally, and they believe that everything what is online is better than doing with people. And the secondary, it's regulations. Every year, the regulators come with several new rules, restrictions, requirements, and so on, so on. It's really hard to keep up with them because you have to remember, okay, you cannot say that, but you have to require the client sign this and this and that. And it's a lot of responsibility. Now, oh, you forgot something, and then they come after you and say, oh, we take your license and so on. And that annoying,
Yeah.
especially that when it comes to reality, some of the requirements are really, really, I'd say, stupid. For example, I can say there is a requirement to get the consent from the client, at least it's in a car insurance. The moment, the latest is when you provide the quotes. It means the consent to communicate with the client. So the client, the person is calling to you and ask for the quote, and you have to get a written permission from him to give him an answer. He called to you. He asked you a question. You give the answer. No, before you give the answer, you have to get written permissions that you can get the answer. Well,
Doesn't make sense.
at all. That's what our life in this field.
You know what you were saying is that computers and probably AI as well gonna start taking all of this stuff. I don't think it's gonna happen though, because when push comes to shove, people still need people to solve the problem because AI cannot solve. It's like you calling that automatic voice number machine. Oh, press one for this, press one for do, and none of the paths matches your issue. So you pressing the 0 to get somebody, and they're like, sorry, wrong answer, and you're getting frustrated about it, right? So
that's true, but I even recently wrote an article on one website. It calls the favorite clients of the insurance companies. And they are those who buy insurance online, because they cannot compare with the companies which don't offer it online. Just few of them. As I said, they don't understand questions. They give wrong answers. They miss boxes they have to check. They check boxes they don't have to check. And then when it comes to the claim, the company said, I'm sorry. They are not sorry. They said, we denied the claim. You didn't do a proper job. But they don't ask. They are sure that they do it properly, and they're smart. They know everything. Well, then they pay. So, but again, the younger the person, the more self-assured he or she is.
Yeah, I remember I had the same issue. I know everything.
Yeah,
even my mom and my dad said, I know everything. I'll do by myself. Don't worry about it. So it's just crazy and stuff. So I presume you never think you will retire. Only thing if legislation gets so high that you like, I'm done. Like it's just
Well, I'd like to retire actually because well, I I want to live for myself too.
Mm,
Because right now I'm 24/7 on a phone, on a computer, and it's tiring.
yeah.
But I'm a realist. I understand that without the salary, it's it's hard to live with the rising prices and so on. And well, I'd say that I like my job. I like to communicate with people, get the good stories from them, and help in bad situations. You, I feel myself needed, probably. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's move on to last part. We need to roll 3 times the dice, and we will be asking question one after another.
3 times.
Yeah, not right away. Just
4.
4. Sounds great. What we have under the 4? If you were a dog, what type of dog you would be?
Spaniel.
Why spaniel?
They're cute. I love dogs, and it's mutual. Every dog in our condo on the street, they come to you, they lick me, I pet them. I don't know, some communication with the dogs. But some dogs, I'm not in favor of the small ones. They
Like Chihuahua?
Chihuahuas and Spitz, those. I don't know, it's kind of artificial toy.
Yeah.
And the huge one, like dogs, Newfoundlands, and so, they're too big to be comfortable in close proximity,
Yeah.
especially to have in the condo. Maybe in the house, maybe, but definitely not in the condo apartment. And Spaniel, it's the good side, and they're really so cute. The long hairs.
Yeah.
So I love them.
That's interesting. One more.
19.
What is the best breakfast?
I'm happy with what we have. We have either yogurt with berries, or I cook the porridge, and we change it 3 days this, 3 days this. I think that's fine. It's good.
So it's no specific breakfast. It's like
No,
you're like
no.
every morning you could eat it until the year. End of the year, no?
First of all, there is no much time in the morning.
Oh.
You take yogurt with the berries, the protein, collagen, something, and go to work. That's it.
Gotcha. So not a lot of time. Okay, one more time.
7.
7. What is the most heartwarming memory you have?
Warming.
Yeah.
It's when we were leaving the Soviet Union, after all this year and a half of struggles and secrets and stresses, and we came to Bucharest. There were no flights directly back then, and we came by train through the customs that they rob us and threaten us. And we came to Bucharest, and the Israeli soldiers met us in the special hotel that they brought us. And then they put us on the El Al plane, that's Israel Air Canada, and for the first time in a very long period, I was calm and I felt at home.
Mm.
Since then, with El Al, it's like a symbol that everything will be okay.
Mm. It's really warm. And last but not least, if you would be 20 right now, what you would recommend yourself, younger self?
Well, I live a pretty good life. So at age 20, I would wish maybe to have my knowledge of life I have now, but be healthy and energetic like 20 years old. And maybe start earlier some stuff that I started only at age 50 or 55, 60. For example, my life improvement courses that we do the last 10 years constantly with my wife. We go to study every Sunday, we go to the learning center to study. It's life improvement courses, how to learn, how to teach, how to handle marriage, how to handle kids, how to conduct investigation, how to whatever, everything, what you can. I wish I knew it when I was 20 or 30. Well, I got it when I was 60. That's fine.
So it's basically getting life knowledge, what you have right now, right?
So now,
And health.
Life knowledge, it's priceless, and you can get it only from yourself. You cannot study in a book. And health, well, even if we keep our health under control and do a lot of things, vitamins, workouts, and so on, well, age is age. Maybe healthier than most of my of the people my age, but anyway, 64, it's not 20.
Yeah. That's really warm. Michael, I appreciate you for coming out to the podcast and telling me a lot of great stories, what I did not expect today to listen from you, and all of the warmth that you brought to tell my viewers about yourself. So I hope we're able, I hope we're able to do this again and talk more about insurance
My pleasure.
and other things. So thank you.
You're welcome.